In my mouth. That's my favorite game.
I don't know what you're talking about, but we are live on Facebook.
Okay.
And it is time to go live on Instaham. Stevie, just throw it out there, man. What's going on?
What's going on, guys? It is Throw It Out There Thursday. You guys run the show as always. We're going to be releasing a very special product, a new product that we have coming out. But in order to talk about that, we got to go over to Justin, and we also have a special guest, Damien from Side by Side Ads.
What's up? Yeah.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
So Damien,
it's supposed to go, but that's all right. We'll figure it out.
Damien just happened to be dropping by to pick up product, and we're like, hey, stay and be on the feed. So he's probably going to be like, what do I do with my hands?
I don't know what I do with my hands. Hey, guys.
So Throw It Out There Thursday. Line up your questions. We'll answer them if we can. If we can't, sorry. But in the meantime, we have a new product we're going to drop for you guys so you can take a look at it and kind of use that as something to go back to in between all of your questions, and we'll drop that here in a second. What are you doing, Steve? You already have something fun?
No, I just we're good. We're good.
You're meddling.
Yes, he is.
Figuring out what he can ask me if I can't answer it. I'll sputter and try to figure it out.
Damien, what do you got over your shoulder there?
These are bump steer.
Microphone, sir. You're on. There you go.
This is a 72-inch bump steer delete kit for a Can-Am that we will be installing today.
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh, you know what, Steve? We could actually Throw It Out There for Damien.
Oh.
Let's just all of us come up with questions that he has to answer.
I like that.
So, Ernie.
I got one question. Do you take the AirPods off to shower, Damien?
Yes, I do. That's the only time. That's the only time they come out.
That's crazy.
I just chase showers.
Speaking of showers, Damien, do you have 1 or 2 shirts on today?
One shirt.
I wonder why. Chase.
How many shirts do you have on?
How many shirts do you have on,
I've been
sir?
working out, ladies and gentlemen. Secondly, I got 2 shirts on because it's hot out here, man. I can't stop.
This is so wrong.
Won't stop.
I don't think I should be this close to you. I really don't.
It was, like a disorder or something, but at the end of the day, I drink a lot of water. It comes out.
You definitely have a disorder.
That's why you're standing over there.
Definitely has a disorder. Okay.
I didn't
A
know,
disodor. He's got a disodor.
I didn't know that our clothing brand was at Baby Gap, but it's really nice to know you're wearing it.
Hey, it fits
Medium.
Yeah. So enough of that. How about, before you guys throw some questions out, new product for you. One thing that we always get questions about is, hey, how do I fill the nitrogen in my UTV? Well, technically, and like the most boring way possible, you have to buy a needle kit from Fox or whoever else to actually fill it with a needle. The needle kits are 120 to 150 bucks, and you can break them off really easy, so nobody wants to do that, pain in the ass. What would be better is if you had a Schrader valve on them like most shocks did in the past before cost came in. With a Schrader valve, you can actually charge it yourself. If you have a nitrogen bottle, which you can go and do, go to any welding shop, buy the bottle, and buy a regulator and buy a high pressure hose, about 350 bucks these days, at least in this town. Maybe cheaper if you know somebody. But you could have your own nitrogen bottle and you can charge your own shocks at any time if you like to, or charge all your buddies' shocks and charge them beer to charge their shocks. It might actually work out really well. You could make some money, or at least
them lots of beer.
That's lots and lots of beer. So
make sure it's good beer though.
So the short answer to how do I charge my shocks is you kind of need a Schrader valve, you need a different cap, or you need to modify the cap if you want to make it easy on yourself. So instead of telling everybody that's how you do it, we came up with Schrader valves installed in extended reservoir caps from us. So, whoa, that one's broken. Don't look at that one. All right.
It's a blend.
Blem. We got one for sale, really cheap. I was hacking. I can hack it. There it is. So these are extended reservoir caps with Schrader valves in them. Kind of cool looking, and they also match everything else that's shock therapy on your car. So if you've got BSD kits like Damien over there,
See those?
yeah,
Nice.
take a look. A little bit of matchy-matchy. If you've got radius rods already on your UTV, if you've got sway bar links on your UTV, then you're going to have a full matching set all the way around that looks really cool. So right behind you, Turbo S, reservoir, extended cap, Rechargeable, so you can do it yourself anytime, anywhere. Another thing about the cap is that if you have it on a Turbo S, you can mount this upside down with the logo right side up. Or if you put this on a Can-Am, you might think that that is upside down, but in reality, on a Can-Am, that's going to come up here. And we'll show you one of those here in a second. So these caps work on both reservoirs that are mounted vertical or mounted downhill, upside down, whichever way you want to call it, right? So these allow you to charge your shocks at any moment in time. What else do they do for you? Well, I think they look awesome. That's probably the coolest thing about it, is they look bitchin' and they actually match everything else.
You definitely always have to look cool.
Gotta look cool. But we got somebody on.
Cool factor going on. You need to come see me.
We got somebody live. What's your question? Maybe you can ask it for Damien. He can
We
answer it
don't
too.
got just any someone. We got Jay.
We got Jay Hupp with his new 4-seat Turbo S. What's up, Jay?
Yeah, riding it right now. Got the Estrays in the background. Two things. That Damon's wheels and tires on my car. They're great.
Yeah, they're probably
And
4.3s.
How much for the caps? Is that
Oh, if he got him? Oh, yeah, for sure.
September 7th?
I lost you there. You said you had what wheels and tires and then everything else after that. Can you repeat it?
So I said I got my wheels and tires, and he does a great job. And I was just asking, how much are the caps? Because I'm coming in September 7th.
Oh, so September 7th, he's coming back and he wants to get caps for the wheels and tires, right?
No, he's got wheels and tires. He is coming to us September 10th.
Oh, to get these caps.
He's getting valving and
How
springs
much are
done.
the
How much
Oh,
are they,
I'm so
Justin?
sorry, man. I thought you were talking about wheel caps because you just led with the cap. These are $150 a set, or $75 a pair. They're going to be sold in pairs because there'll be different sizes and diameters for different things, but on your Turbo S, they're all the same. So $150 and they're installed for free.
Boom.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
Awesome, man. Thanks
Jay.
for signing in.
Looking forward to
Have
seeing
fun
you, Jay.
riding.
Have fun, Jay.
So back to the advantages. Oh, Steve, what do you got?
Ryan Van Valkenburg wants to know, will y'all be doing Vegas to Reno and the Baja 400, or one or both?
We will be doing Vegas to Reno for sure. We are probably skipping the 400. One of the reasons that we skip that is because it changes location and name so many times nobody knows what the race is when it comes to marketing. We'll probably skip that and run the 1000 only, but Vegas to Reno, we will be there
Boom.
for sure.
Awesome.
That's it.
Frank G Life wanted to say, installed the race rack. It's a piece of art. Thank you, Shock Therapy. You got it, Frank G Life.
Well, Frank is definitely good to us. Thank you, sir.
You got
Appreciate that. Damien, you put a few racks on cars.
Yeah, I've put a few racks.
You are a fan of racks, from what I
I'm a
hear.
fan of the shock therapy rack for sure.
What is
And build, we'll be getting one.
what is the typical thing that your customers tell you after they've done a rack before and after?
No more bump steer, no more slop in the steering, car's not driving itself all over the place. You know,
And it stays.
the list is long. Usually it's the first thing is, Jesus, my car actually drives nice. It's not
Awesome.
changing lanes.
Thank you. And we will. Your check is in the mail. Thank you.
Justin from S50 or 550 Monster, he wants to know, are solid links for front and rear 2021 Turbo S, do they really help with body roll?
No, they don't. Here's the deal. The factory links are fairly solid. They don't have urethane bushings in them anymore like you did back in like 13, 14, 15, and 900s and early 1000s. Non-turbo stuff had bushings in them, and they were a problem. Now, the best thing about a link is that they don't wear out and they look good. Those are the two things you can look forward to. What do we got there, Chase?
We got a live one. Abe, where you at? What's your question? And nice koozie, man. What you drinking? Nice.
Is that close to a Truly? It is.
Is it a White Claw? He's drinking a White Claw?
Is that Topo Chico?
Oh, Topo.
I mean, there's so many.
It's a Bud Light. He's hold on. He's drinking a. Hold on a second, man. Before you even ask your question, you're drinking a Bud Light seltzer, I think.
Yeah!
Is that what that was?
What time is it?
I'll take it, all right?
I love it. I love it. I was a
So
hater.
Ernie's a fan, but I just love talking smack about him.
I used to be the biggest hater, but shotgun and those go down pretty good.
Boom.
You don't get that beer bubble. One after another. Works out really good.
Okay, man. What was your question again?
So I just got done watching you guys, and I got a gusset kit coming along because
Check it out,
I
Justin.
visited that boy down there on that little common beach spot. So I'm pretty much gonna build up this whole front end, and kind of like what Frank D was talking about. Is it a necessity right now, being that this is a new machine, to replace that steering rack, or should I just go kind of down and see what happens?
Here it is, man. We're gonna tell you the truth. Truth is, run the piss out of that stock rack until it's completely worn out and the thing's flopping around and tires are kicking around and you got a ton of play, and then replace it. Depending on the wheel and tire offset that you run, you might get that thing to last 1,000 to 1,500 miles, but if you got a crappy wheel and tire offset, it might only go 500. I would say wear it out before you buy our rack. No reason to go blowing the money early. Just do your gusset kit, keep the car together, and then do the rack when you absolutely need it.
Yeah, because that was the issue too. I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna ride it soft and all that stuff, but you know, it's kind of disappointing how weak these run-ins are on these Can-Ams, and I should have just done what everybody's doing at the beginning, just built the front end and then just go with it, not have any issues. But you know, so I guess we'll just play by ear, and I guess when I start seeing more front end, I'll just start looking for that.
You're right. It sucks to have to do it, and you know we tell everybody to do it up front from experience, but it's hard to spend the money without seeing the problems. I understand your pain, but just wear that rack out before you go and buy ours, and save the time, save the money until you absolutely have to do it. It'll be worth it when you strengthen that front end, man. They work out really well.
Alright, sweet man. Yeah, I got your springs, I got your new tire rod kit, I got some upper and lower A-arms coming in from CA10, so I'm pretty excited. Get this thing back on the trail soon.
Sounds like a sweet build. Thanks for buying all our stuff. Really appreciate that. Also, you said one thing earlier, that you're just going to kind of go around and kind of be nice to the car for a while. Don't lie to yourself. Not going to happen.
Cheers to the White Claw, brother.
Yeah. White Claw power.
Later.
All right, have a good one, Abe.
All right, later. Steve
Okay.
and Ernie.
I do have a question. Mr. Sparkles said, I just watched the Best in the Desert video and noticed that Justin doesn't wear gloves. Why?
Because that was a mistake. I hopped in the car. We had to rush to the line, and I forgot the glove. I went for my helmet. Normally, I keep the gloves in it, and I went for the helmet. No gloves in it. They had fallen out somewhere, and had to run the race without them. I do like wearing gloves because mostly for rocks. When you go to pass people, you get blasted, and you end up losing knuckles. So that was a mistake.
Darren Morris wants to know the indications of low nitrogen pressure in your shocks.
Ernie, you can take that.
Indications of low nitrogen pressure could be a complete change in your ride. So if you're going on trips and you have a complete change as far as how the car is performing, not only compression but rebound, that would be a good indication for me. You would get a slight ride height change. So typically ride height stuff, I would still try to look at springs and things like that.
Just
and
clamp
then
it real quick.
easier to get the car to bottom out. Could also be related to a nitrogen change as well. If shocks are off the car and you're playing with shocks and you got springs off it, maybe you're doing our spring kit. If you can easily push in the shaft and it does not rebound back out, that would be a good indication that you're low on nitrogen pressure. So the cool thing is, if you got a group of guys and you guys do, like Justin said, you guys get together, you buy a bottle of nitrogen, that stuff's only like $15 to refill down the road. Just so you know, your cost is all up front on that. But the cool thing is, you guys can jack the cars up, extend the shocks, and check pressures with our cap or a cap very similar. So that's what we're trying to do here.
Ernie, I've also heard too that you get kind of a pogo-y feel when you don't have nitrogen because it's very springy.
Absolutely, you could have rebound issues along with compression issues, so without a doubt.
Biggest thing to remember is you have a major change, then start looking at things like that,
Absolutely.
right? You know what? I think Steve has found another use for these extended reservoir caps.
Honestly,
Steve?
I got an outfit.
I can tell he hasn't showered though, so I'm only gonna stick around for about 10 more seconds.
Maybe we could put a tent in these.
Steve, your Schrader valves are extremely hard.
You're welcome.
Just saying. All right. What else you guys got? Any questions before we move on? Oh, wait, we have a Honda that has some extended caps on it. So that you guys understand, this is not a vehicle-specific product. This is a shock-specific thing. So a 2.5-inch diameter Fox, a 3-inch diameter Fox. We have everything ready to go for that. We'll have everything ready for a 2-inch diameter Fox soon. And we're discussing whether we're going to do walkers or not. At the moment, we're not going to do those.
Yeah, walkers are just late that don't have shraders to start with, so just...
yeah, so the walkers have shraders,
we're definitely
so...
going to focus on the Fox stuff first.
Yeah, so all the Fox options to begin with.
Does the extension help with ride quality on the new caps?
No. Extension is not going to change anything in ride quality. This extension is 99% visual. Now I'm going to take that back. This extension is probably 50% visual and 50% function in that you actually get a Schrader valve you can charge the shock. It is 0% helpful when it comes to ride quality. Some people like to market their extension caps as helping you with temperature, nitrogen temperature, or pressure. More pressure is good. These are all things that people say. That is not true. It is such a small effect having a little bit more nitrogen in a reservoir that is basically undetectable. That would be, I don't even know what a good analogy is. You know what it is? Here's a good analogy. This cap probably weighs 3 ounces more than the stock cap. If you put these on your vehicle is going to be slower. That is true. That is the same thing as saying that putting these on there are going to give you more nitrogen volume, is going to keep the temperature of your shock down. That would also be true. That is also not what we do. We do not fluff the advertising. That is not something that's even worth worrying about. So no, don't consider it. Steve.
I got a question from Tino Co 113. Said Can-Am feels pretty stiff. Would a spring kit help, or do I go all out?
Ooh, good question. Steve, you can answer both of those.
Well, I mean, it all depends on what you want to do, man. If you're looking for the biggest change, I'd go spring kit. Spring kit's going to give you a really, really good change as opposed to stock.
More plush.
More plush out of it. Get you a little bit of ride height too. But if you're looking for some extra on top of that, I would definitely go with the valving and dual rate spring kit combo.
And that will give you the best of both and the most advantage to all of the things you can get. Whether you want it more plush or more aggressive, we can tune it for that.
Correct.
AZ Desert Rat 735. Are you guys going to be making shaft extensions? I'm asking for my wife.
Shaft extensions for his wife.
Wait, for his wife? Wait, there was no comma in there, so
No,
for
no.
his wife?
He's asking for his wife.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know if that was... yeah,
That'd be better than asking for a friend. Just saying.
Well, he's got us interested now. So.
Yeah, I would
look
like
into
to
it.
know more about his shaft actually before we answer that question.
I don't remember where the question's at, but someone asked, why or when will we start making our own shocks?
We've answered this a ton. I'm gonna put this to bed. We are never gonna make our own shocks. The reason is we're friends with Fox, Walker, Bilstein, King. We do not want to make enemies. We want to work with them. We are a advantage to the shocks that exist. We don't want to be an option to the shocks that exist and piss everybody off.
Speaking of often answered questions, Ralph Delando 7 just came back from Mammoth and I noticed my shock therapy springs are rubbing the crap out of my crossover rings. How do I fix this?
So first thing I would do is jack up the car and try to rotate your springs, get them to sit in a different location on the divider from each other. I know that we talk about 180 degrees out. That's a good starting point for everyone. There are scenarios though that it's also smart to also modify that a little bit. Now, that being said, things do rub. Crossovers do rub. So
actually, all crossovers rub.
Yeah.
The only difference between a crossover that rubs and doesn't rub is that it's rubbing on the inside where you can't see it. That's it. They all rub. So usually they rub a little bit, find their happy place, and they never rub any more than that. So just let it run. Clock the springs to make sure they're 180 out. After that, let it do its thing. It'll run its course, and it won't be a problem.
Well, Justin, too, if it also rubs some of the crossover material off, that takes away from the weight of the cap, so it actually will make you faster.
It makes you faster, yes.
So,
this is a very, you know what? So rubbing crossovers is a speed marketing we should run with. Yeah.
I got two questions. One is more of a statement from ProCuts 215. Who's the tall, slow guy next to Steve?
Definitely not slow. and I will see you out there. Remember the last time? I think I remember. Okay, so we were going through the dunes.
Looks like
we
Bryce's
were in the
dad.
Gecko area, heading towards sunsets, and this particular guy thought he was going to get in front of me, and he found out very quickly that he cannot outrun Goldie.
Goldie. Ooh, Steve.
Frank G Life wants to know, what gloves do you use in steering wheel combo? My leather gloves slip on my leather steering wheel.
Yeah. So K1s, which are a kind of a fuzzy glove that's stitched backwards, so the stitching's on the outside and doesn't rub your fingers. Also, it's got a little bit of traction on the glove, and couple that with a suede steering wheel, which have a shelf life. You're going to run suede steering wheels for about a year, then they get a little bit tacky and toss it and put another one on there. That right there, tons of traction, your hands don't go to sleep.
Boom.
Are you laughing at tacky?
No, Kenny Roth wants to post a video of him spanking you, by the way.
Kenny Roth did spank me. Goldie was not on her 100% that day.
Chase, lower your damn arm. I can see your pits.
I got one of our locals on the feed. Greg Parker, what's going on, man? Where you at? What's your question? Greg, you're breaking up.
Oh, can you hear the house now?
We got you. Go for it.
Okay, my neighbor's got a 2020 RC, and he was having trouble with his rear sway bar links installing, and I was trying to explain to him, obviously over the phone, but is there a have it on YouTube, the instructions for him to
Yeah,
sway bar link.
Yeah, we've got rear sway bar link instructions for not specifically an RC, but any Can-Am. That instruction covers them all. So take a look at that. Should cover any issues. It's pretty straightforward. About the only thing you got to worry about, man, because all the hardware is reused, and you put the link on in the same exact spot that it came off, is to make sure the length is correct, which we send them. I believe the length on them, Steve, on a factory Can-Am is 7 3/4. Is that what it is?
Sorry, we're talking about. I didn't hear the question. I
Can-Am rear
apologize.
sway bar link length.
Rear sway bar link length is 8 3/4.
8 3/4. So I was off an inch. Sorry. Just make sure that if they're 8 3/4 and you're good to go.
Alrighty.
the original ones and put them on that way, but
As long as you duplicate the original one, it's pretty straightforward, but we do have a video, so tell him to take a look at that.
okay.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for signing in.
Send us your shirt size information. Have a good one.
So, you guys are taking a look at a Reservoir that we haven't stickered yet on a Can-Am. This is the reason why. We've got the lasering on these, flipped around upside down on one side and right side up on the other. So you guys can mount these any direction you want and get the logo correct. Pretty bitchin'. Probably look just as cool as a sticker does, honestly. I think they're awesome.
So Lance Roberts, if you have an appointment on Monday and you would like the caps, Steve will definitely go over that with you when you're here.
Yes, I will.
That'll get taken care of. Also, Danny Klein, they should be available on the site. Chase.
Who installed that?
I know we're getting photos up today, so by the end of today.
We have them in stock, so we should be able to get the stuff up.
Yeah, give us a day, man, to put them up so you can order them up. But it'll happen today, and if it doesn't happen today, then Chase loses his job tomorrow.
Dun, dun, dun.
Steve.
Justin, I think this is pretty cool. Abraham Santivas Valere Daredes says, "Hola, saludos de Cere, Chile." It's from Chile. Saying
Chile,
what's up?
badass.
Crazy cool.
All right,
Hopefully
say
I said
hello
that right.
from Chile. I appreciate that.
Hi.
We should do some hot ones. Like, I don't know, any chili. It just reminds me of like spicy food. It sounds like a hot chili.
Justin,
It reminds me of toilet.
we get this question all the time, but I'm going to ask regardless.
Yes.
Sorry.
Justin, will these caps work on the Speed UTV?
So, I am confident that these caps will not work on something that is mythical.
Went there.
I did. I'm sorry.
I like it.
Wait, one second, Robbie. I'm sorry. Call me later.
No, he's
What
not.
about unicorns?
All right. So when it comes out, it'll be awesome. Until then, we got nothing to say.
We did have some questions about your race car.
Yuma Dirt said, damn, I just had my shocks there last week. I would have wanted those. They'll be on the website by end of day today, you said?
We'll get them sent to you pretty quick, man. Like right away. As soon as we get them on the site, you can get them and pop them in. We will have a video how to put them in a week. It's very fast. You can do it in 5 minutes, as long as you got nitrogen.
Yum Dirt,
the only negative. At this point, the price would have been the same.
You'll have those.
Yeah, and by the way, if you want to just drive by the shop, we'll pop them in there, pop them in real quick.
Yeah.
He's in Cali.
Well, okay, we'll do it at the dunes. Just stop by the trailer.
Yep, we got you, Matt.
Done.
We also got a hello from Sacramento, California.
Oh, hi.
Just shout out where you're from.
That's cool.
I like it. I like it.
Reloader guy, what seats do you use in the race car? As well as do you have any feedback on the Method bead grip? Not bead lock wheel.
PRP seats in the race car, multiple styles. I would sit in them and see what fits you the best. We do not run a suspension style seat because in the race car, suspension seats are a constant seatbelt tightening thing, and we don't want that. So we want a rigid seat and tighten the belts once and go for it. The other one was what?
The last one was, have any feedback on the Method bead grip, not bead lock wheel?
Bead grips are awesome. I would buy them. As long as the wheel offset's correct, in my opinion. I'm a wheel offset Nazi. So buy the right wheel offset, then get bead grip is bitching.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a play guy, most of the time bead locks are a little overkill anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you could do standard bead lock, you can do bead grip. Bead grip is better.
Yep.
For sure.
Boom, if it's Method, it's
We got a hello from Phoenix.
That's good stuff.
Well, looks like our questions are starting to slow down.
All right, that means we can sign off. Steve?
But first and foremost, before we sign off, I do want to announce Glamis dates because I've been talking about it for the last few live feeds. I want to announce them, so here it is. Get your pen and paper.
We need to put this on the site too.
We'll put it on the site as well. Our first dates, we are booking appointments right now for October 28th through the 31st. We are also booking dates for November, which is the 25th through the 28th. Not sure about December just yet, but that will be the 27th through the 30th. And then in February, it will be the 17th through the 20th.
So Chase, do me a favor, take those dates,
Boom.
create a media post
Boom.
specific for that, and throw that out. Specifically for all medias.
Okay, you can
Thank
have
you.
that.
Can you do that and have it up for tomorrow?
We got it. Done.
If he does not have it up tomorrow, all of you guys who are watching this video, please give Chase shit.
We have live evidence.
I was
know,
going to
it's
say,
true.
we got
it.
Live evidence.
Yeah.
Chase, I have something fun for you next week. Are we doing feeds next week or are we off a week?
Next week is our last regular week for every week feed.
So we'll have Tech Tuesday, throw it out there Thursday, and then we have a week off, and then we go into our every other week schedule. So you guys make sure you put that on your calendar and do not sit around wasting your lunchtime waiting for us to sign on, and we won't be there. Cool.
Before we let us go, Marlon Maggs would just like to say, Steve and Ernie, great dudes who make things right 2 days ago, along with the guys in the shop. Solid company with solid people from Las Vegas.
Thanks, Marlon, man. It's a pleasure having you.
I don't want to get this wrong. Las Vegas SWAT?
Well, he runs. I don't even, are we allowed to say this?
I guess maybe not, but hey, thanks for the
Yeah, he runs. Yeah, it's really badass, man. He's a really cool dude.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome, Steve. Let's sign out, man.
Well, if you guys are looking to buy these caps or anything else we have to offer, please visit the website at www.shocktherapyusa.com or call into the shop at 623-217-4959.